live with the news where you live. 8 News starts now.
Good morning, Richmond. Thanks for joining us for 8 News at 9 on this election day. I'm John Rogers.
And I'm Delaney Hall. All 140 General Assembly seats are on the ballot today, along with races for school board, Commonwealth's attorney, and other positions. The polls have been open for about 3 hours, and ballots are being cast. If you still need to cast your vote, you have until 7 p.m. tonight. For now, we want to go to 8 News reporter Alexis Bellamy, who's live at the main library in Richmond. So, Alexis, what do voters need to know?
John, Delaney, good morning. That's right. I'm here at the main library in Richmond where these polls opened up at 6 o'clock this morning. And since then, we have seen a trickle of voters enter here to do exactly what they're supposed to do today and cast their ballot. But while the polls are open, do you know where you're supposed to vote before you hit the door? Well, if you don't, you can visit the Virginia Department of Elections website. Once you're there, just enter your registered address and the website will provide you with the rest. Now, if you aren't registered to vote, you can register today at your polling location and cast what's called a provisional ballot. In order to do so, voters must bring a valid form of identification like a driver's license or a state-issued ID. Now, you'll also need your ID to vote even if you are already registered. Now, if you decided to skip the lines and vote via an absentee ballot, you must remember it must be postmarked no later than today. And that's not all. The absentee ballot must be received by your local registrar's office by noon, no later than next Monday. That's November 13th. Terrell Sneed voted this morning and says it's something that everyone needs to do today.
I mean, I'm a veteran and I'm retired law enforcement, so I always feel like it impacts everyone. Don't let people that don't impact you make your choices for you.
That's right. Now, those polls will be open until 7 o'clock tonight. And here's something to keep in mind. If you are in line by 7 o'clock, then you will still be allowed to come in to your polling location and cast your ballot. Now, 8 News will be covering this election all day, so make sure to stick with us on air and online at WRIC.com for the latest updates. Reporting live in Richmond this morning, Alexis Bellamy, 8 News.
All right, Alexis, thank you. So with control of the General Assembly being decided today, you may be anxious to find the results to learn which party took the House and the Senate. But local registrars say it could take a while to figure out the winners in some key races. Hanover County Registrar Terry Smithson says in addition to the General Assembly races, there are other contested local races for offices like school board, Commonwealth's attorney, and more. So voters will likely take longer to fill out the ballots, and with more races to call, results could take longer to put together. Smithson says longer ballots also mean results tapes from ballot scanners take longer to print.
To give you a frame of reference, in the precinct, it may take them probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes to run the tape because the ballot's so long. In our central absentee, because we have 36 different ballot styles, it's going to take us an hour and 45 minutes and probably 6 rolls of tape to go through. So they'll be babysitting these.
It is important to point out all election results are not official until they're certified by the local and state electoral board.
8 News is your local election headquarters, and we'll be covering the election throughout the day. For real-time election results, just scan the QR code you see here on your screen. It'll bring you everything you need to know right to your inbox. You can also head to our website, WRIC.com.
Well, if you still need to head to the polls, Storm Track Rate meteorologist Jacqueline Waters has got you covered with the forecast and the roads, and thankfully no issues so far, huh, Jacqueline?
No issues at all. We're looking at those nice mild conditions out there. Temperatures starting to warm up pretty nicely. Those low 60s in Richmond, 61 in Petersburg, 63 in Ashland, upper 50s still in Emporia and South Hill. But overall, we're looking at a really nice day. A little bit breezy though, something to keep in mind. Winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. But today, no rain to worry about. We're going to see those above average temperatures once again this afternoon. Temperatures will be reaching near 80 today, those upper 70s. It's going to feel real nice out there. So after you vote, maybe you could go out and grill, maybe go on a nice walk or anything outdoors, because this is nice weather we're seeing for this time of year in November. And again, partly cloudy skies will slowly transition over to mostly sunny by the afternoon. Really nice weather out there. Just keep in mind a bit breezy, so just make sure to hold on to those things a little bit tighter. That's a look at your forecast. Now let's head over to Traffic Tracker 8 to see what's happening on the roads. We are looking pretty quiet out there. You can see, really just seeing that green color across the board. A lot of these are disabled vehicles or crashes that have been cleared. Just a couple of local crashes. We have one on 3 Trop Road headed southbound near Lauderdale Drive. Not seeing any slowdowns with flow of traffic in that area. And then further to the south, it looks like our other crash has cleared and another one just popped up. So keep that in mind. Just a couple out there. The Chaco Valley Bridge starting to show some of those slowdowns. It looks like we do have a disabled vehicle out there, but really not seeing any major delays. And 95 downtown looking great. Those northbound and those southbound lanes, we're looking at average speeds of 55 miles per hour. Normal drive times, really not seeing any major issues out there. No delays at all in the Bryant Park interchange area and Ashland to downtown Richmond, just taking you 22 minutes. Back over to you, Delaney.
Jacqueline, thank you. 2 people are fighting to live after police say they were shot in Henrico last night. One victim is a man. The other is described as a juvenile. Officers responded to Cliffbrook Lane near Brook Road around 7 o'clock. They found a man and a young male who both had multiple gunshot wounds. Both were taken to the hospital. 2 people police believe were involved were taken into custody. Call Henrico Police if you have any information.
8 News is taking action. We're learning about major changes coming to Richmond Public Schools months after the shooting that killed a Huguenot High School graduate and his stepfather. Well, days after that deadly shooting in June at the Altria Theater, 8 News learned Sean Jackson, the student killed, was enrolled in Richmond's homebound learning program for safety reasons. Sources close to the homebound program questioned why he was allowed to attend that graduation. After an investigation, the school board made a policy change at last night's meeting. Homebound students are now required to get direct approval from 3 different school officials before they can attend ceremonies like graduation. School board member Jonathan Young says this could have been prevented, and he believes the third-party investigation will give more insight.
I think I know what's in that report, and what that report will speak to is a total collapse by Richmond Public Schools. I have seen the emails, I have read them, and I still am processing how we could have been so reckless, and that is the word. What I have read can only be described as the most reckless, callous, irresponsible behavior by the school district, and it's all in writing.
Board members heard the results of that investigation for the first time last night. It's unclear if they'll be released to the public.
Another hotly debated topic at last night's meeting, what to do about fire and mold problems in schools. The Richmond Education Association urged the board to adopt 2 resolutions they've come up with to address fire safety and mold concerns. A motion to adopt one of the resolutions failed, with board members citing some of the language. When member Kenya Gibson made the motion to adopt the amended resolutions last night, the conversation became chaotic before a majority voted against the resolutions. Superintendent Jason Cameras said he plans to meet with the REA to come up with possible solutions.
I think we all want the exact same thing. I think the issue is how do we get there as quickly as possible.
Cameras also gave an update on mold testing for Bouchon Middle School and said a full building test of every single room is scheduled for today. No date has been set yet for that meeting. We'll keep you updated. Coming up on 8 News at 9, a wildfire in Madison County has burned thousands of acres. What some people living near it have been advised to do while crews try to control it.
You're watching 8 News at 9, covering the news where you live,
including vote and White House. 9:09.